Good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in on the Engine Builder Show. On today's episode, Gabe will be talking about how to create content that converts prospects into clients. A very interesting topic indeed. Now let's get this show on the road. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. We are just about middle of the way through January here as I record this, not February. And so far, the year's off to a great start for myself and the team, and I hope yours is as well. And I'm just grateful that you're taking time to tune in and be part of my online family and part of my world here. So I appreciate you. And just like Jethro said, we're going to talk about how to create content that converts your prospects into clients. And we're just going to touch on some of the high level principles here. Obviously, creating content, being a copywriter, creating effective marketing messaging, building things that are going to get results in the long term takes consistency and persistence and testing and adjusting things. But there really are three key things that I want to share with you today that if you're not already intentionally doing these, you can add these into the process of how you create content. And also, when you get to work with a firm like ours, of course, we'd love to help you with your content marketing and with all of your advertising and marketing needs. These are things to keep in mind so that you can actually lead and guide whichever team you work with as well, whether you get to work with us or you have another agency. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a manager in your business, regardless of who you bring in as team members or vendors or agencies, it's really important in my experience, for you to take ownership and leadership of the overall direction so that you can guide where you want things to land and you can be effective with the investments that you're making. And so the first thing that's really key, really, this is both from a business leadership perspective and from a marketing perspective, is if you want to be effective with the content that you're creating, something that's actually going to move the needle and make people want to work with you and buy from you and be associated with your company, you really need to make sure that you have a deep relationship with your audience. And so if you don't already have that, then my recommendation and my strong encouragement would be to make sure that you spend time on a daily basis talking with the people in your audience over Messenger, live conversations, video calls, phone calls, in person, whatever you can do. And just on a continual basis every week, make sure you're talking to the target audience that you want to serve, because the longer and the deeper that, the longer amount of time that you spend in understanding them, the deeper you go in that relationship, the easier it's going to be to talk about and communicate things that really matter to them. And you're going to know how they speak, what language they use, what's important to them, what pain points they have. And so it's just such a critical foundation to really have that deep relationship with the audience to start with. That's one of the reasons why when we build our BME blueprints, our strategic year-long blueprints that we build for our clients, often there's, if it's a new space or if the client hasn't done it recently, there's often times where we will do a survey and send it out to past or existing clients to really understand the language that they're using. That allows us to use that same language when we're writing copy, when we're creating content, when we're creating advertising, because we're speaking to known, issues, concerns, thoughts, desires that audience has. And so if you haven't surveyed your existing client base in a while, then I just encourage you to do that, because it's going to bring to light things that you probably have seen but ignored. That's how it goes. If we see things over and over, we start to ignore them or think that everybody knows that that's the case. And other times it's going to bring up things we don't know or we don't realize. So ongoing dialogue through, that type of format, through surveying, through having real life conversations, all of that is going to make a huge impact on how you can show up and the type of content you can create. Because just like our physical bodies, if we put healthy things into our bodies, if we drink water, if we're intentional about the food we eat, if we exercise, all the inputs that we put into our body creates a healthy output. We feel better, we're healthier, we don't get sick, we get stronger. All the inputs equal the outputs in life. That's just a law of life. And so that's the same scenario here. If you have a lot of good input and you're gathering information and you're learning and listening and paying attention to your audience, you have all that input, That's going to allow you to output something that's valuable and impactful and effective when it comes to the marketing that you're going to do. So you need to facilitate that. If you have a team, you need to make sure they have the support, the ability to do that. Or if you are the person doing the marketing in this season in your business, then you need to do that personally, in my experience. And so with that knowledge, then we can move on to the second thing here, which is um, opening your content with an empathy opener. Whenever possible, I try to do this because it helps the prospect reading my content or listening to a video or being exposed to any type of content that we're putting out there. It helps them feel understood. And that's the point of copywriting, is making your audience feel understood. And so if I was speaking to, if I was speaking to a specific niche that we serve, the coaching industry, where we help coaches grow and scale their businesses, I would start out with something along these lines, and I'm just kind of making this off the top of my head, but I would say, have you ever felt like you have such a, impactful gift to share with the people that want to change their lives, but you don't know how to reach them, and you're frustrated in your attempts to, gain new clients and build your brand as a coach? Like, I'm going to open up like with that kind of like, have you ever felt like, or, when was the last time that you experienced this? Or have you ever been frustrated with or struggled with this area of things? I'm going to jump right into the feeling, the empathetic feeling of, hey, have you ever felt this way? And then once I open up that way, then I can move into my copy a little bit deeper and say things like, well, good news, there's a solution here. We have a process that allows you to triple your brand in front of your audience, gather new ideal clients, and grow your business by adding 6 figures to your business, or even 10xing your business, because that's what we've helped a lot of coaches do in the coaching space. That's a real thing that we've actually done. I'm not just making that part up, but that's kind of like a concept of what I would talk about in the copy. So when we start with that empathy opener, then we can just dive into having that, conversation through our content with our audience, because we know who they are, we know what their challenges are, we know what their goals are. We've deepened the relationship, so now we can use that empathy opener, and we have the ability to then speak their language and just help them feel understood. And inside of the copy, which I'm not going to go super deep in the whole copy structure today, we can open with that empathy opener. Have you ever known that you really want to serve and help people through your coaching business, but you don't know how to attract them, and you're frustrated with trying advertising methods or other, processes that people have said would work but didn't really work? Well, good news, we have a solution that, will achieve this result. And what if you didn't have to worry about building your brand? You just had to worry about talking to people that responded to you and booking them into calls, so that you could do discovery calls and offer them your coaching services. And then the third part of the copy, which I'm going to roll right into here, is being really clear in the call to action that you want people to take. And also making it a micro step that is comfortable and easy to take is the ideal. So after kind of having that empathy opener, talking about the potential solution, then I'm going to close my content by saying, if you'd like to have, a consistent flow of clients for your coaching business, you want to have your brand grow exponentially, month over month and year over year, and you want to have, a partner that can fully handle all the marketing and advertising needs that you have as a professional coach, then what I like to do is invite you just to click here and book a free 30-minute discovery call, where we're going to go over your needs. And on top of that, on this call, we're going to be able to give you, over $1,000 in bonuses and resources for free that will help you grow your business, regardless of if you choose to work with us or not. So I've made a clear call to action of what's going to happen next, and I've already explained there's some value and benefit in taking that action, and then it's risk-free. So when we think about our copy, creation and creating content, copy, videos, visual content, any type of content you're putting out there, even live speeches, things like that, we start with, the first thing to remember is just start with deepening your relationship on a consistent basis, so you know everything you possibly can about your audience. Fall in love with your audience, is what my friend Alex Charfin always says, and I love how that just reminds me, like, I just need to keep deepening that relationship. The second thing is, when you do start creating content, ideally start out with an empathy opener or something just in that kind of frame emotionally that helps your audience understand that you understand them. And then as you move through the copy, you can talk about your solution. There's a lot more to copy structure that we won't cover in this short show. But start out with that empathetic open, help them feel understood, because then they're going to feel that they can trust you, and they'll read through the rest of your copy. or listen to the rest of your video, or look at the rest of the, what you're sending over, listen to the rest of your presentation. And then as you close up your content, have a clear call to action so that people know exactly what to do and exactly how you can serve and help them. So those are really the three keys that will help you create content that really converts your prospects into clients. And for you, if you want to have your brand expand, if you want to have a consistent flow of leads, if you want to be able to, know by the data and the results that your marketing is consistently working, I'd love to talk to you. You can drop a comment down below, or you can head over to businessmarketingengine.com, and we can show you exactly how we do that, not only for coaches, but folks in the home services space and also in the professional services and consulting space as well. So appreciate everyone tuning in today, and we will see you tomorrow.